Meeting to order. Welcome to the May 21st meeting of the Lee Select Board. First order of business, board reorganization. And there's a time-honored tradition in Lee that every year we rotate the chair of the Select Board. And we just had an election. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be able to serve another term as a Select Board member. I'd like to thank Gordon and Sean. They've been great colleagues over the last year. I want to assure the residents of Lee their interests are being very well represented. I can tell you that everybody sitting up here wants the best thing for the town of Lee. I want to thank also Chris Britton, who mans the rudder of this ship. You got three confused captains up here. The guy on the rudder knows what he's doing. And I also want to thank Sabrina, who keeps track of our toes and our fingers, so we all show up at the right time. With that, I will move that we appoint Gordon Bailey to be chair of the Lee Select Board for the next year.
It's up to you, Sean.
Second.
Sure.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Thank you very much.
Good.
And just to make sure that we stay on the right side of the law, we've had a call to order about pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20. I'm hereby informing all attendees that a video and audio recording is being made of this meeting. And if you'd prefer not to be recorded, then now's your opportunity to bail. Other than that, we're going to go forward. Great. Our first order of business is approval or review and discussion of the open meeting sessions of May 7th, 2024.
Mr. Chair, I'll move that we approve the open session minutes for May 7th, 2024.
I will second that.
He didn't. No other comments on
I
it?
don't have any comments.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. Then we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So it's unanimous. All right, now we have a public hearing. All right, the public hearing is for an application for an annual all-alcohol restaurant license for Jalisco Cantina. And if someone would like to come up and make your presentation, that's great. Thank you very much. And introduce yourself for the record.
Thanks for having me. My name is Darren Lamb, an attorney at Pittsfield. We're shortly leading him on Windelat. We represent Patricia De La Paz, who has recently entered into a 5-year lease agreement with a landlord at 85 Main Street. There's a little restaurant there. What my client would like to do is open an authentic Mexican restaurant at that location. And what makes sense, goes along with that, is what we've applied for is a new license, a new on-premise full alcohol license, so beer, wine, and liquor. She's going to do breakfast, lunch, and dinners. We were just talking about hours of operation because I know that's important to the town.
Yes.
We would request in the beginning we go during the week from 8 till 10, and then Friday and Saturday 8 to 11. Although
So it's not 8 p.m., 8 a.m.
8 a.m. She's going to do breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay, so the alcohol license will also be they'll serve anytime. Yeah. I just want to make sure everybody's clear. And
Yes.
Good shit.
Yes.
Right. So 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. on what?
Fridays and Saturdays. So Sunday to Thursday we go 8 to 10. And then at least as we start, we like to carve out that flexibility. I'm not sure we'll need it, right? Business will decide that for us.
Okay.
Patricia's here if you have any questions for her. She has other businesses. She has other restaurants in the state of New York. I met with her when we did the closing on site at the location, and she talked about her experience. And she's been in the restaurant business for near about a decade. And she has a plan. So she's not new to the business. She's responsible. She runs other businesses, and she expects this to be a family type of restaurant, not a bar room. We're not looking to open a bar room.
I understand. Okay. And all right. Do you have any questions before I go forward?
I don't.
Okay. We have a note here. I want to ask which days will there be any days when they'll be closed? Just,
No, she'll open 7 days a week.
Okay, very good.
Yep.
Just I had a note here to clarify a few things. Of
course.
For the application, I did read through most of this, and not all of it, but most of it. I didn't find anything that's out of order in any way, shape, or form. Either of you have any questions? Sabrina, we have the info that we need on times and dates.
Yep.
Okay. Since it's a public hearing, it is open to the public now. Does anyone have a question? If you could come up and ask you a question. Come on up, Kathy.
I've lived in Lee all my life, except I don't know where this restaurant is.
Well, it's where Prado's right across from Salmon Run, next to the barbers, next to Moe's.
Okay.
It used to be a breakfast and lunch.
All right, I understand.
For quite a while.
Yeah.
For many years.
Okay, so my question is, they're going to be open till 10 at night or 11 at night?
11 on Fridays and Saturdays is what they're asking
But all
for.
the other businesses on Main Street close by 9 o'clock.
Well, then anybody's hungry. They got a captive audience. They'll be going up there to get some food.
Okay, just wanted to, clarify, because I know most of the places are closed.
Well, they don't have to stay open that way. They just want permission to be able to stay open.
And that's fine. It's always nice to have a new business in town
I agree.
and good food.
And I have to admit, I have gone there for breakfast, and I did not do the usual, eggs over easy and all that. And I'll tell you, the breakfast was great. Excellent food.
And thank you.
Yeah, feel proud. Yes. Okay, anyone else have any comments from the public? Anything else you'd like to add?
Mr. Chair, I one other just quick question. Is this floor plan layout accurate to how it's laid out now?
I believe that's how we want.
Yeah, that's how you want it to be, but it's not. Okay.
They've shifted around a little bit in the windows.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I think the windows, you're going to add some.
There'll be some improvements, yeah, for sure.
Right? Okay.
Very good. Okay. Any other questions?
Nope. That's you said.
Right. Well, then, seeing no one has any other questions, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I will move that we approve the annual alcohol restaurant license for Hanusko Cantina as presented.
Second.
We have a second. We have any last choice words before we go to the vote? Seeing none, all those, that's true. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'll make that unanimous with an aye. All right, and definitely good luck.
Hey, thanks so much.
Well, hope you do well.
Guys, have a good evening.
Yep, you also. All right, we are now moving into our next session here with public comments. Kathy, do we hear from you again? Okay. So yeah, wrestling's.
Kathy Hall from the Lee Youth Commission. Despite the high temperatures, there was no stopping middle schoolers from playing kickball or young toddlers and youth from playing at the Lee Athletic Field today. Kickball is on Tuesdays from 3:30 to 4:30 until the end of the school year. A special thank you to Ariana Hall and Carter Gogan for overseeing today's event. And another important note, the Lee Youth Commission would like to thank members of the Lee CPA Committee for the recommendation to add improvements to the Lee Athletic Field on behalf of the Commission. And a huge thank you to the town of Lee for voting to allocate $80,000 to add to the skateboard park and do a community build of an obstacle course for FY25. Thank you.
All right, so you can.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any public comments before we move on to our other business? You'll have an opportunity to speak then too if you wish, but okay. Seeing none, we'll go on to our general business. The first is approval of a common victualler license for the business that we just had before us now, Hanusko Cantina LLC at 85 to 87 Main Street. Look this over. Any questions or comments from the board? Last? So now I'm going to entertain a motion, and then we can still discuss. Sure.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the common vitular license for Hanusko Cantina. Hanusko Cantina.
The second.
Right, we have a motion and a second. Any comments for anywhere? No? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So it's unanimous. Next is a approval of a one-day alcohol beverage license. As you see here, it's a graduation ceremony, 179 Main Street, from a nonprofit. What's your pleasure, gentlemen?
I will move that we grant a one-day alcoholic beverage license to Blue Fire Company and for the graduation ceremony on June 1st.
Second.
We have a second.
Beer and wine only.
Beer and wine only. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So it's unanimous. Next, we have some gas permits. No, we don't. 5C. Yep. We have approval of a bring your own bottle. That's BYOB, 30-day permit for D&G Hospitality. That's doing businesses at the Tito down here on Main Street.
We have someone here.
Yes, we do. Well, then since we have someone here, why don't you come on up and talk to us? Give us your name and all that kind of good stuff.
How are you? Good evening, Rebecca Clerget with DNG Hospitality.
Great. And you're okay that we've actually adjusted the occupant load from 50 to 49? You understand all that well with that? I assume. Very good. All right. Anyone have any questions? While they're really just waiting for, we've already approved a full-time alcohol.
This is so people can bring their own. And
Sure.
They
The so cheers.
and there's still tip certification. Somebody there. So,
All right.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion to approve the BYOB 30-day temporary permit for D&G Hospitality.
All right. Do we have a second?
I will second that.
All right. Any other questions? Would you like to say anything else? All right. Then I'll close the hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So it's unanimous. All right. Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.
All right. We are on to 5D, general business. We have one leak pro tunk for 6973 Main Street. That's a gas permit. They've already done it because it was an emergency repair. If you'd like to take that separately.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the non-per-tunk 6973 Main Street gas repair.
Seeing we have a second. All right. There's anyone here? No? Okay. Seeing none. Call for a vote on that one. All those in favor?
Aye.
Great. We now have two other gas permits. One is working in the street and to house an 11-foot, well, it's to house new pipe, I think, back to the right side of the foundation. It's 60 Cliffwood. And I think since they're both, well, we can start with that. Let's just do that. I'm looking at this. It looks like they're not tearing up the road. So that's a good thing.
Yep.
In Cliffwood. So do I hear a motion on now?
Mr. Chair, I move we accept permit to Berkshire Gas for 60 Footwood Street to do the work as described.
Second.
All right. We have the motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So that is also a unanimous vote. We next have replacing a portion of a gas service at 46 Tabor Avenue. And according to here, it still looks like they aren't going to be tearing up any streets. But the police and DPW have signed off. So do we have a motion on 46 Tabor Avenue?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the replacement of a portion of the gas service at 46 Tabor Ave.
Second. We have all right. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So unanimous vote. We next have a letter that we had sent out one other time long ago to the other boards of selectmen that were part of the Housatonic Rest River Municipal Committee. And we asked for all their minutes and we got them, but then there's also executive session minutes. And to release those, they need the select boards of all 5 towns to vote to let them become public so everybody can see how the process went along. So it'll be a very above board, nicely laid out process that we can follow. We did send a letter to the 5 boards of selectmen involved. Well, actually, we didn't send ourselves one, but we agreed and we voted to do that. Sheffield, the Board of Selectmen in Sheffield also agreed and voted by their Board of Selectmen to release all the minutes. But we did not get any kind of feedback from Great Barrington, Stockbridge, or Lennox. So today we are considering sending the letter to those 3 boards again and making another request. And what we have is a letter that reads, Dear Select Board members, given that the Housatonic Rest of River Municipal Committee, ROR, has been dissolved on December 19th, 2023, the Town of Lee's Select Board respectfully requested that all unredacted minutes from all the committee's meetings be released to the public. On December 5th, 2023, the Lee's Select Board voted unanimously to release all attorney-client privilege records from the Housatonic Rest of River Municipal Committee. We understand that a unanimous approval from each of the 5 select boards involved is required in order to release these unredacted minutes. To our knowledge, your board, your select board, has not yet voted to release all attorney-client privilege records from the Housatonic Rest of River Municipal Committee. It is our hope that this letter encourages your select board to do so. We believe the time has come for the public to understand how we got to where we are. And sincerely, and the 3 of us will sign this, and these letters will go to Great Barrington, Lennox, and Stockbridge. Because Sheffield has already voted it. So with that in mind, any discussion first?
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes.
I certainly, I think what everybody sitting at this table certainly agrees that those minutes, those executive session minutes, should be released to the public. There are some of us who believe that those meetings conducted in an executive session should have been public perhaps from the beginning, but the people of Lee and all the residents of in the river corridor of those 5 towns deserve to know factually how we got to the point where we potentially have a toxic waste up in the town of Lee in a larger sense in Berkshire County. This is not a trivial matter. And one last point, I did receive a phone call just before this meeting from Patrick White, who is on the Stockbridge Select Board, who assured me that he has publicly said that he believes that those minutes should all be released as soon as possible, and he will continue to support our efforts.
Okay. Thank you. Any comments, solutions? Any questions from the public? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to have the full board sign off on that letter.
So moved.
Second.
Right? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So it'll be unanimous decision. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. We're on to a couple of things here. Now, that comes to be the next one. We have the announcement of the Memorial Day Parade, which is coming up Monday, May 27th. It will kick off. Hopefully, the rain will hold off, just in case. But it will start at 10 o'clock up by, we always call it Joe's Diner Corner, West Center Street in Maine. The other end of town, and come right down Main Street and end down at Fuller Street, basically. And the actual parade will end there. However, there will be, if you wish to walk or drive up to the cemetery, there will be a program up there, which is always very touching and moving. I've been up to it every year that I can think of. If there is rain, in the past, if the parade gets rained out because it's horrible weather, then we obviously can't parade up to the high school, but we will go to the high school, and we'll confirm a time on our website. Usually, it used to go at either 10 or 11, and I forget, but we'll have to confirm this and get it out there, maybe in an email blast.
Yeah, if there is rain, check the website. It'll be on the main page. There's a red strip at the top for emergency alerts, and we'll post it there. It will get e-blasted as well, but it will give the details on when and where to go. If you don't see the red banner at the top saying anything about the parade, assume it's on.
You got it. And basically the same ceremony that usually happens up at the cemetery will take place there. And it's a very nice and meaningful ceremony. And I would encourage as many people as possible to either go up to the cemetery and be part of that, or if it gets rained out, go to the high school to the auditorium. It's a very good acknowledgement of what Memorial Day is all about. So we have any topic that the chairman could not reasonably anticipate, and we do have a few things. Some people, there was a temporary sign permit request to have a banner placed in the park for the summer by the Chamber of Commerce. And they applied online, which is the way you do it for permanent signs, and they called this morning and spoke with you, Mr. Britton, and said, how's it going? Is everything okay? And he's like, we didn't get anything. So this is a temporary sign permit. So we're looking at it as an emergency action that we couldn't have thought about. And it's to put the Chamber is celebrating 100 years this year, and we wish to keep this banner in place throughout the summer until September 22nd. The church is giving their permission. We have anybody wants to ever come in and look at it before it goes up, we do have a photocopy of what it looks like. It's a fairly big banner. I believe it's approximately 10 square feet or more. 26 square feet. That's right. It's 32 inches high by 122 inches long, if you want to do the math. Just over 10 feet by 32 inches. Our sign bylaw basically allows temporary signs to be for 30 days. So, we could ask them, and undoubtedly they want to waive this fee. So, if you, I don't know how you guys want to handle it. You want to do it and just ask them to go through the motions of reapplying every 30 days? I don't know
I think it's
flexibility we have.
Sure, I think it's pretty simple to reapply. I mean, we've already got this application. All they got to do is adjust the dates. So I think, if it fits, Mr. Chair, I'd approve the temporary sign permit for a 30-day period starting now.
Yeah.
And then, they might need to reapply 3 or 4 times to get the whole sign.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess they wanted to start May 20th.
May 20th. So
it's tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I think that's go.
That given we don't want to start any kind of precedent, I would certainly second Sean.
Okay. So, all right. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, we have a motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye. It'll be unanimous for that. And I will sign it for the board. We also have 2. You're gonna wait. We were gonna waive the fee. I mentioned.
I'd amend my motion and waive the fee.
And I'll second that.
All right, and we'll revote that. All those in favor?
Aye.
There's also a request from the chamber, Kathy DeVarens, to put a smaller sign, just 6 square feet, which is our usual allowed by right sign, actually, in the far end. So I even know if they really need to do this, but since they are here, because you can have as many 3-foot signs as you are, 6 square foot signs, that'll just announce they want to leave it up again. We'll say for 30 days for now. The Lee Farmers Market, Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So I assume weather permitting, they want to keep the sign out all the time. They want to have 2 signs that'll be in the church park. So again, what would you like to do with this, gentlemen?
I'll make a motion for the smaller signs.
You ready for 30 days without a fee?
It's without a fee.
Okay. We have a second. All right. Given that we have a motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
In the meantime, maybe we'll take a relook at the zoning bylaw just to make sure that, it's printed here no more than 30 days, which is what I remember. It may be renewable, and we'll take a look at how this looks. We'll make a decision before our next meeting.
is to buy rights to our just politics.
Yeah, I was gonna know.
Not for up farms.
Okay,
I think
we'll take a look. Again, the sign by law baffles everybody. It's not exactly an easy thing to wade through. All right, so that was that one. The other was
Man.
we received a letter. Oh no, we have to send a letter. We had a request for a letter.
Okay.
And what it says to whom it may concern, it is from the Board of Selectmen here, the Select Board. It is with great pleasure that the Lee Select Board extends its support for a Berkshire Bikeway planning grant to connect the southern and central Berkshires to the Ashawiltacock Rail Trail in the northern portion of Berkshire County. The town of Lee is currently working with the Massachusetts Department of Transportation to create a bike path connecting downtown Lee to the Turnpike entrance and Route 102 along the Housatonic River. In addition, the town has a bikeway committee that has been involved in executing this process. We see great potential to connect the proposed trail in Lenox and further points north. In Lee, we deeply value efforts towards providing our town with more outdoor activities, promoting the health of our residents, and providing multimodal transportation. Please accept this letter in support of funding for an intermunicipal plan to study potential options for this important project. That's the letter, and I believe that this is also already on the tip. I'm the MPO representative. The issue of a bike path is on the tip for funding, and I think it's 2027. It's great.
Yeah, so this particular section, they're applying for $1 million grant that would do just the planning part of it for Pittsfield. It would be between Pittsfield, Lenox, and Lee. So all three communities would be involved. There will be, if we do get the grant, we will have to go back for an appropriation for some matching funds, but they haven't determined yet the formula, whether it will be done by just an even split or by mileage or by population yet, but there'd be an IMA in process. So this is just to support the project in concept right now. If this does happen, we would go at our next
meeting.
Whether it goes through CPA or whether it goes through a capital, appropriation, the town would vote to contribute towards that.
All right, so that's an explanation. Do we have a motion from the board?
Mr. Chair, I move we send our letter in support for the Berkshire Bikeway planning grant as described.
Second.
All right, any comments, any further questions?
I think it's just a great thing for the area, to be able to have something like this come to fruition. So I'm really hopeful that we can, do what we can here in Lee to move this along. So we've heard from some people at town meeting recently that, really like the idea of that. And so, we've got a section on plan here to be built that we can keep going. So
How does the master plan address this?
We've addressed this we've supported that project absolutely, and the expansion for sure, and I think like the multimodal transportation effort in the transportation section, not just biking but other parts, is something that we identified as something the town should. It came up over and over, the issue of like walkable neighborhoods. These days people are driving faster, not
Yes.
for the best, and we don't have a lot of sidewalks around in different areas of the town, so people don't feel as comfortable walking on the street. Things like this will give people a chance to walk, bike, run, somewhere safe, somewhere that's not on the road, somewhere that's enjoyable, along the river. So.
Usually always wheelchair accessible,
Yeah.
baby carriage accessible, all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
So yeah, we supported this great deal.
Bob, any comments or?
Yes, about 3 years.
Okay.
I think we moved in second.
I think we did. So just asking for more comments and gave it, and I will say while we're commenting, I've gone by the Ashwatercock Trail many times, and it's various crossings. It's used a lot. I mean, there's people on their bikes out there jogging. I mean, I see people using that trail all the time. So I think this would be great if we could get it connected. It would be a major win for Berkshire County. Seems like.
Agree.
All right, any other comments? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Well, now we are on to the town administrator report, and you have some ideas to bat around with us?
Sure, yeah. So first off, some updates. We received 15 applications for the town planner position, and it's been posted from as far away as Europe, actually. So we have a really good mixture of applicants. We are starting interviews soon, so hopefully I'll have some more updates as we go along, but we're working on that process as we speak. So hope to have someone in place by the beginning of the fiscal year at the latest. As far as the other topic here is I sent the board a memo with a suggestion of 2 building committees. So we are going to be going out to, for our bond, we're meeting with the company this week for the bond for the public safety building. And so I'm proposing 2 committees. One would be a building reuse committee, which primarily would be looking at Central Fire Station, but there is some change that will go on here at Town Hall as well. And the second would be a building committee. So a building reuse committee would be the first one, a building committee for the creation of the new public safety building and the moving of the DPW. So my suggestions, if you all have the information, are listed there. The building reuse committee is essentially looking at organizations that are either interested in place at the Central Fire Station or that are being displaced in the move when we demolish the Iraldi buildings. The building committee has representatives from the different departments that are going to be moving into the new building, as well as members of the select board, DPW board, and both of them have members at large from the public. So, happy to answer any questions about it. Hoping that if the board likes this plan or if some version of it, we can, one, I'd love to know if any select board members are interested on either of those, and 2, we can get that posted and come back to the next meeting to do appointments. So.
Well, I'm absolutely interested in actually being on the building committee, not the reuse, but more so the building committee. I was on the elementary school building committee at the time, back in the 90s. And given my background, I'd be very interested in being on this. I think that also we need to make sure that we really spell out the intention of what the goals and operating areas are for these committees, to make sure they understand what their goals are. So where we could look at a draft of that at some point, or work up a draft to give them direction, Anyway, so I think we do need committees, these 2 committees, but I think we can talk a little further and get some feedback maybe on membership of the committee. I had some ideas after discussing this with you earlier today. So I'll talk to you personally about that, and then we'll bring it back up again about the content and all. And if someone, let's say people are interested in this, the at-large members especially, are you expecting, and since we hardly ever get enough volunteers, hopefully we'll get some volunteers, but should they send some resumes and letters of interest to you here or to us through you?
Yeah, so what we're envisioning is that the different organizations, such as on here, I'll just list them off: VFW, Food Pantry, Youth Commission, Historical Society, Fire Company, that's on the reuse list. We would ask them to give us a member of your board, let them show down
exactly
which representation. And then, with your permission, what I'd like to do is put this online starting tomorrow. Who's interested in the public positions, and then come back at the next meeting for appointments on those. So, and they can send a resume to me, and then we'll get it to you guys for review. So, the same thing with the building committee as well. Board of Public Works, they would appoint one member. We're asking for a member of the police and fire unions, the chiefs, a member of the select board, and then again, as well, 2 members at large. So
I see the DPW superintendent also.
oh, yeah.
Anyway, well, we'll have to, I just have some questions about some of the members here, whether it's really necessary, because sometimes the bigger the committee you get, the less you ever get anything done. And it's kind of gets exasperating at times. I've been on big committees, and you might as well stay home. Stick and read the minutes, and it's about as much as you're going to get home, get done. So I just want to make sure that we're focused and we know what our parameters are and what their jobs are. And then, anyway, I have questions for you, and we'll talk about it next meeting. In the meantime, before the next meeting. So anyway, gentlemen.
If I may, if Sean, unless you're passionate about being on the reuse committee, I would be happy to step up to sit on that committee.
Yeah, by all means. Actually, no, I think that would be great for both of you to step up in those positions. I think I'll likely still go here and there. Sure.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. Is they have to be open to the public.
Right.
They have to take minutes and send the minutes back to us. So,
but yeah, I'm happy.
We'll all be
I'm
posted.
happy for both of you to take on those committee positions if you so wish. And I do have some similar questions about membership, specifically not so much for the reuse. I think that makes sense. The public safety buildings. I'm wondering, if we could dial that back down a little bit, or maybe. I don't know, maybe be a little bit more selective, and the members at large, hopefully we can get some, technically skilled professionals out there. I know a few, so I'll reach out.
Yeah, I did meet with the chiefs to get their thoughts as well on it, and they felt it was important that, well, obviously they be on there, but also one of their officers or firefighters who's going to be using the facility.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. Any questions or comments from the public before we go forward? If not, we'll be talking about it again. We'll come back with, hopefully we'll have some direction, and we'll hear back from people who want to be involved, and we can get this thing moving sooner than later.
But if it, just to be clear, it's all right for you guys are okay with me soliciting for public members at this point.
If you put it out, no, I think if you put it out there, if nothing else, hopefully you'll get some resumes in, and we'll be able to pick, have a chance to review things before our next meeting. That would be wonderful.
Perfect.
And, in response to all this, I think I'm personally not disappointed in the vote and the outcome. I was very disappointed in the lack of participation at the vote.
Okay.
I think it was very discouraging with the number of voters we have in this town, and something of this magnitude to only have like 400 and some people, vote. I think I was very surprised. I think it's because nobody ran against you.
I tried to vote more than once.
Well, I thought you did. You said. Anyway, that's a different thing. We won't talk about that. So, yeah, it was just, that's all. It's just, I don't know what's up with the apathy in every town, everywhere, but it was discouraging to see so few. But the people who showed up, they made their voice known. And of those who shown up, I think I did the math, and it's like 64.59%. So basically 65% said, yep.
The water's kind of.
Yeah, it was close to 2-1. So it's like, okay. And then this is what we do. And we go forward from here. So.
And there's still, just for,
yes,
looks like we got Owen in here, but just for everybody's this process of the building committees, these two committees, but the building committee itself is still, you still have a chance to weigh in if you feel one way or another. There's still a way to sort of change the overall context and the plan of the building to a degree. It's not all just, we're not all just, you know, signing off on the dotted line here. There's still a lot of work and input that everybody can have. So
I don't have a rubber stamp. That's the thing. I got to make it up every time. So anyway, you said we had a hand. Would you like to go up? Just state your name when you come up. That's great. And then have your say. Thank you.
Robert Wright, 20 Peace Terrace, Lee, Massachusetts. This evening, with the permission of the town of Lee elected select board and town administrator, I would like to address one topic and one topic only this evening. And that is regarding the town of Lee approved and voted on new municipal safety facility and Department of Public Works change of site. I could say it a few different ways, but
yeah,
I hope you get the gist of it. So I'm speaking as only as a resident and taxpayer in Lee. So I want to address one point, and that is unintended consequences of this project, the municipal building, which I have already stated, and reflecting on taxpayers' money being spent. Many years ago, the town hall was renovated. I don't know, Gordon, maybe you go back that far, or I don't know, but I do. And at that time, my job was the business manager agent of the Carpenters Local in Berkshire County, Local 260. And at that point, we had 160 members and representing Berkshire County. And I specifically remember visiting this building as it was being renovated. One of the things I recall is asking the administrator of the OSHA, to please come to this building and this site. And within 10 minutes, I'll put my hand on the Bible. Within 10 minutes, there was not a tradesperson in this building. So why did this happen? Trucks and vans showed up every day on this site, most from out of town, not Berkshire County. So I'm going to answer my own question regarding unintended consequences. The bids went out. The project managers went out to bid, and the project manager typically awards bids to contractors, obviously. But what happened was the contractors subbed their bids out to other subcontractors, and those subcontractors subbed their bids out to other subcontractors. Now, you can call them LLCs, DBAs, whatever you want to. So, my opinion is the cost of this project, which is a ton of money, as we all know, and it's approved. Perfect. It should not only benefit the town of Lee, but it should also benefit many, if not all, of the trades in Berkshire County. So I believe that when the project manager is chosen, that there should be clauses in this process. And it happens in Boston. It happens in Springfield. It happens everywhere. So you can't, no one, not specifically you, but no one out of this room right now can tell me that this cannot happen. It can happen. Preference should be given to contractors, bona fide, bonded, insured contractors. We have them all.
Yeah.
There's nothing that can't be done. Look at Williams College. They do it all. Berkshire County. Yes, the project managers are, name them. You can name big ones. They're worldwide contractors. Or,
Yeah.
so preference can be written into these things that would benefit Berkshire County tradespeople.
Yeah.
And that no contractor who was awarded a bid through whatever process it is should be allowed to subcontract out, to subcontract anything that they bid on. Because you can't follow it. ABC from wherever can come in and they sub it out to somebody else. No. We can't have that. All payroll records should be kept on this project. Everyone. No one should be allowed on any of this project unless they are legitimate employees of the contractors that are given these contracts. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, please do. Currently, the town of Lee has many union members. I'm not going to name them all. There's many, and they do wonderful work. Many unions are working very hard for our welfare and our quality of life here. I don't want that to get missed. We need to pay attention to that. I'm biased, obviously. Okay? I'm passionate about it. So, in closing, the clauses that can be put into these contracts, if you're not so-and-so, you're not getting in Boston. You're not getting in Springfield. You're not getting in Worcester. We need to take care of our own people here in Berkshire County and try to write in clauses that the preference will be given to local Berkshire County contractors. And that's all I'm asking for. And thank you so much, Alderman, for that.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments before Rob leaves the mic?
I'll just say I was a self-employed carpenter for many, many, many years, and I know all about prevailing wage and the problems that come along with that and resentment that comes along with it. So we hear you.
Okay.
Well, great. Sean?
I'm sorry, but just
No. Sean, anything to you?
Yeah, Rob, no, your point's well taken. I think we all have that sort of noted for sure. And I think to go a little bit beyond what you were stating, but I've heard from some people who weren't so excited about this project or might have even been against it about, certain things. Oh, the town's going to go and we need to do this project. And then you're going to say, oh, then now we need to go and do this project. And now, well, this we have a dire need for these facilities to do something, and that's why we're doing it. And it's a holistic idea of what we're trying to do. So hopefully in the future we won't need to do another project for quite some time like this. That's my hope and what I try to tell people, so that the implication to the taxpayer won't continue to escalate. Like I think some people are fearing. So we're doing our best to mitigate that, and I think we all hear you and others when they're concerned about those sorts of things.
The most likely first step for the building committee will be to review proposals and to put out the RFP for our contractors. So that's definitely, and through that process, everyone on there will rate various different architects and contractors and so forth. So we can get who the manager and the engineers are going to be going that.
Well, one thing I want to try and avoid, just from my history in the construction industry, is try and avoid, these jobs where the contractor hires the architect, the design build, because that's when things really go bad. because now the architect engineer are working for the contractor. I want the architect engineer to be responsible to us and not the contractor. So I'm going to make sure we don't go down that,
That, like I said, will be the first step.
Yeah, we need to make sure we don't do that, because I've seen nothing but trouble in almost any job I've ever been on
So
in design builds.
the plan would be to bring the committee the RFP to look at, make any tweaks, would send that out, and then they would review the proposals. So that would all be done in a public forum, which is what we have to do under 30B for a request for proposal versus just a sealed bid. So,
Good. And just for everybody's edification on this, you might, if this, me too, I'm not sure, but we're not necessarily looking for the lowest bidder when we send these RFPs out.
not on the initial RFP for the designer and so forth. That's a process of finding the best person, the best fit. Once the actual construction bids come in, we have to go with low bidders.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. That's all under procurement laws for construction. It's much more complicated than that, but it's hard to, when we're looking at materials and things, the labor is mostly done on, it's all prevailing wage tables and so forth.
The means and methods is always the conductors. But I think, to Rob's point, is that we need to make sure that whoever gets the bid and they get sub bids in, that they're not having their sub bidders bid it out to other people.
And we want to write that
Yes,
when we send the bids out.
right. So point well taken. Okay? Very good. Thank you for coming in. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah?
Now we're doing a great job.
Well, thank you. We're trying.
And just a little more about the process right now. We're hoping the bond process will be done in about 6 to 8 weeks. We have a closing to do on 2 properties that was part of this project. That will be kind of the first step once we acquire those 2 properties, which hopefully will happen this summer. The next step will be to move DPW,
Yes.
move Tri-Town Health, and then we can actually get started on demolition. But hopefully during that time, we're working on this committee can be in place and start to work on the
Designs and proposals and yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Chris, for you?
That's all I had. I will report back to the board with some names next week. And in the meantime, if you have comments, let me know.
Yeah. Well, good. But anything else, Sean?
I think the only thing I'd say is congratulations, Mr. Chair, on the chairmanship. I would think this is a good reset. One thing that obviously I've been working on is the master plan that has just been adopted, a week or 2 ago, I think, or accepted by the planning board.
Okay.
So I would hope that we can, not let that collect much dust before we start to take a look at, what we can do.
So does this mean you're freed up to be on a lot of other subcommittees?
You guys just took the 2 positions.
We'll come up with other things. We can come up with other things for you to do. Bob, anything?
No, congratulations. Great job. It's like, maybe you've done it before.
No, maybe. Then it's final. I would just, before I, finish this thing up, I'd like to also thank you, Bob, for your work that you did. Not that you didn't get thanks when you were chair either, but, since you're the immediate predecessor, thank you very much. I know that the town's been going through, some stressful times and many issues have come up. And I think that your leadership, I hope that I can continue to keep things calm and move forward in a positive direction for our community, everybody in our community. And thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Gordon.
Yeah.
Greatly appreciate it.
No problem. All right, so seeing no other comments or discussion, our next regular meeting will be June 4th. Can you believe it? June 4th, 2024. May will be gone. I would accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you.